Yo, what's going on, yo? Welcome back, OTB. Oh, sorry, I was wondering where the echo was coming from, and then I realized I had
OTB?
the YouTube. What did I say? OTB snaps. Sorry, I already did fucking a 3-hour sports radio talk show, Aaron, this morning. What did you do?
I played golf.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The QB1 lifestyle. There we go. Speaking of QB1, we got QB1 right here. Matt Barkley.
What's up,
USC,
boys?
great. Fight on.
There we go.
USC just humbling my Tigers in those wicked deserts of Las Vegas a few weeks ago. SC looking strong, heading to Michigan this weekend. We'll break it all down. Matt, what's up, man? TBob, nice to meet you, brother. Hope all is well.
How we doing? Is this a golf show or a football show?
It's a lot of things. So Matt's a good human, by the way, T-Bob. So
I know.
You need to calm down some of the stuff that you say. It gets a little wild
Aaron,
at times.
Aaron, do you go to church every Sunday?
I miss the locker room, so let's ramp it up a little bit, okay?
I don't even know if some of the stuff we said in here is appropriate even for the locker room, but
Aaron, do you go to church every Sunday?
I do not. Okay, I'm not saying I'm a good person. I'm not a good person. No one said that.
Okay. Yeah. Back off. Anyway, I mean, look, yes, degenerate in a lot of ways, but whatever. Everybody find your own way. I'm T-Bob. He's Aaron Murray. This is Snaps. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. And this is Matt Barkley. Join us to preview a massive game this weekend at Matt Barkley on Twitter, Big Ten analyst, 11-year NFL vet. How about this? All-American and a Werfel Trophy winner in 12. I think Gabe Eichert might have won it in 13.
Yeah.
In 1 week. We've had back-to-back All-American Werfel winning trophy guests. Like, how about that, dude? Let's fucking go.
Nice.
It's a good day. Matt, thank you for joining us. First question, Bitcoin about to pump. How we feeling? You and Aaron feeling pretty good right now, huh?
Oh, I am long, extra long, and very bullish since 2016. So,
woo, baby.
Yeah, I'm in for the long haul.
He doesn't have Bitcoin just chilling right now that he's been putting in for the past few years too.
It's not a lot. It's not. Look, extra long is something I've never been described as, but I'm not going to. I'm not getting out now. I'm not pulling out now. So whatever. We out here. All right, let's get into football though, because the thing that shocked me most, and for my local job, I cover LSU, right? So I like went over that film like a fine-tooth comb, about 4 hours. And the thing that I keep coming back to is nothing about that USC defense felt fluky to me. It's how it was the strength that they played with that really shocked me. This was not a soft defense. And now, I've read all about how they've added so much weight in the offseason, but they just look so strong at the point of attack. Mason Cobb, Anthony Lucas, all these guys. In your estimation, how is it that you have a group that last year looked like a wet paper towel and this year is, legitimately firm in that front seven?
I think they finally have an identity. And last year they were all over the place. I mean, the missed tackles for the last couple of years, just the lack of physicality. There was no identity. And so to see them come out, everyone was asking me how they're going to do this year. And I'm like, they're going to score points. Offense is not going to be the issue. Let me just see one drive from their defense to see how they hold up. And I'd been to the spring practices, the spring game, but to see them actually against another opponent, an SEC opponent at that, and how that was going to hold up, after one drive, I'm like, all right, this is a completely different team.
Yeah.
And they went through, they only have 2 games compared to some of the teams having 3 because of their bye week. But out of all Power 4 teams, they have the least amount of missed tackles of any Power 4 team right now, which if you would have put a bet on that based on last year, it's like no chance that happens. But D'Anton Lynn comes in, creates a culture, creates an identity, and that's all it is.
Is this the bigger test though for you? Like, because we've talked about LSU and T-Bob obviously being offensive lineman. LSU has kind of seen them over the past few weeks. More of a pass first group instead of that hard hitter downhill physical style that Michigan's going to be this week. It's like if they prove it this weekend that they can match up against Michigan and that offense line with Orji at quarterback that's going to be downhill running the football at his size, would you say that's more of the yes, we have turned the corner moment, or is it already there? or do you need to see it another time?
Well, I think the fact that they're going to get into these Big Ten games now, yeah, with different styles of offense, and the majority of Big Ten teams have even kind of, since we played, it was all the let's get 12 personnel and just run it downhill every play, and it's a lot more zone read now. So those offenses have changed, but there still is a theme of like power running football in the Big Ten, and this week, yeah, it'll definitely be another challenge. I think, again, their identity is solidified, at least on defense, from week one. And I think moving forward, just proving that against better teams as they, get deeper into their schedule will be important.
So, again, that missed tackle stat that you referenced is pretty unbelievable, considering last year they were 100th in the country with 143 missed tackles, only 8 through 2 games right now. But I mentioned the growth of the player, like the actual physical growth of the players, and this is something that was highlighted on the broadcasts for the LSU game. But reportedly, the offensive defense adding more than basically 1,500 pounds over the offseason. But what I found interesting is that they talk about D'Anton Lynn and Eric Henderson kind of spearheading that initiative, right? We're moving to the Big Ten. We got to get bigger. Right. I guess I'm wondering, like, how is it that, why did it take, or how do we get to the point like where it takes D'Anton Lynn to say that? It's one of those things where it's like, well, if that was always just like, hey, let's just get bigger. Like, let's just get bigger and stronger, guys. We should try that idea. How did that finally come about this offseason?
I wish I was a fly on the wall for that conversation to be like, where was this before? What were we doing? Yeah, the last 2 years. And maybe they were prioritizing speed and just trying to keep up and, be quicker on the defense side of the ball. But that doesn't work, especially in the Big Ten. And I think there's definitely a hybrid, like with linebackers becoming more faster now, especially in the league. And to be able to keep up with speed is so important. But to be able to hold it down and to build the muscle mass like they did this offseason with the strength and conditioning. I mean, I don't know if you saw some of those pictures of like the before and after. It was pretty impressive. It was almost like the jump that like the Clay Matthews had back in the day. And
I remember when when Urban Meyer got to Ohio State, they had a bunch of pictures like that as well. But there wasn't a strength coach change though, right?
No, it was the same coach.
God, see, that's fucking crazy to me.
Same coach that Lincoln brought in.
It was literally D'Anton Lynn just be like, guys, we should get bigger.
We need to get bigger. Okay, it's funny. So I think it is. Matt said it's a coaching preference because obviously being in Georgia and going to Georgia, Kirby would rather get someone that is a little bit too big and then turn them more athletic instead of getting an athlete and getting them put on bulk. So he's the different mindset where you have an offensive guy who I think offensive guys think speed, athleticism. I like it on both sides. I know it maybe gives me trouble in the secondary. So like you have that mindset where you bring in more of this defense guy that hopefully says like, no, we have to be able to handle ourselves at the point of attack in some of these games. So good for them, man. It's those pictures were pretty damn impressive. I want to flip it to the other side because I got to talk about quarterbacks. I doubted Miller Moss all offseason. I love the bowl game. Don't get me wrong. He looked good. But when you look at the physical attributes, he doesn't have your size. He doesn't have the athleticism of Caleb. He doesn't have the arm strength. But it works within the system. How do you judge a quarterback that isn't, say, a Caleb or a Kyler or a Baker Mayfield, the quarterbacks we've grown accustomed to seeing in the system, to now Miller Moss, who I compare him a lot to Stetson Bennett, but just runs the offense really well?
He has taken hold of this offense and I think used his own strengths combined with how Lincoln's coaching him. And that combination is lethal. And if you look at Caleb and what he was able to do, like outside the pocket and off timing throws, he was next level. And that transition to the NFL is a little different, right? To be able to do that consistently, because you have to be a pocket passer and throw on time with anticipation. But I think those are strengths that Miller Moss has and that he's developed, and he's, waited his time. So he knows the system and he can just operate efficiently, getting the ball out. I don't know if this is right, but I think I saw a stat where he was getting the ball off on average almost a whole second quicker than Caleb was compared to last year, or the last 2 years. And so he's a very cerebral, very, very smart quarterback and just knows his strengths. And if that's timing passes and getting the ball out on time, getting through his progressions, he's doing it really well.
Where do you
Boys, here's
project
a
him?
question.
Sorry, where
Go
would you say NFL wise? Mid-round guy? Like, I haven't seen his arm strength up in person. I can only go from what I've seen on tape or watching games on TV. So it's always hard to judge that. But how is the physical attributes? Because like you said, the intangibles are there. The toughness, the accuracy, the anticipation, the understanding of a very complex offense, like all that checks for the next level. But like 6 foot, 200 pounds, could that hold him back from being a guy that could be a second, third rounder?
Size might. I don't think his arm strength will hold him back. He has a more than capable arm and uses. I love his motion. I think he has great technique and finds answers. Can push the ball down the field. Size might be an issue. I mean, we've seen that with some guys, but I think he'll find a way. He's the type of guy that will, make up for it, whether it's Drew Brees looking like this, through his face mask or whatever. But I don't think he'll have an issue with that. He's solid.
It seems like outside looking in, Miller scores very high on the intangibles scale, which is as important in that position as almost anything else. Boys, here's a question for the group. Where do we rank Miller Moss in the Big Ten quarterback hierarchy right now, right? I mean, would most people still say Gabriel 1, even with some of the early wobbles? Are you putting him ahead of Will
Gabriel
Howard?
Necessarily wobbled, though.
No, Gabriel's
Again, we're not having this conversation. Gabriel's stats are high volume. They've been a little ineffective functionally with how high volume they
Miller's
are.
Miller's 2 pushing 1, right?
Okay. I would think so, right? Because I'm not going to put Will
There's
Howard
no one else in there. I mean, unless you want to go your boy from
it's
Michigan
not a very
State.
quarterback strong conference. No.
Not
Hey, I like Aiden Childs, dude. Relax. He's going to be really good, dude.
Okay.
Chili.
Okay.
He's up. He's in the conversation for sure.
Yeah,
he is. And I mean, Dylan Gabriel, that offense is built for efficiency and completion percentage.
Yeah.
And he kind of broke out of that, though, I think this last week against Oregon State with some out of the pocket stuff and throwing the ball down the field. But we've seen, I mean, Lincoln Riley is kind of built for efficiency too, but we've seen Miller Moss like push it downfield, fit tight, deep ends, like in between defenders or hole shots. Like he's making tough throws, in my opinion, that he's seeing everything great and just trusting that offense.
A couple of those LSU throws were
unbelievable,
gutsy and in tight windows. Wait, real quick. So I want to build on top of the last answer. Okay. So if we're ranking Moss second in the conference, and we actually believe in what D'Anton and Eric Henderson have created on the defensive side of the ball, we know they have good weapons. Where do we rank the team in the Big Ten? Right? We'll still go Ohio State 1, obviously, but after that, it gets interesting. I mean, if we go Oregon, it's not by much. And then I don't feel good about Penn State yet. Like, not with what we've seen thus far. Like, is USC, if they win this weekend, do we rocket them to third in the conference?
I mean, do they rocket to 2 in the conference?
Yeah, maybe so. What would you say, Matt?
I think after this weekend, if they prove it's got to be a dominant win, in my opinion. If they win by a 1 possession game, I mean, it also depends how Oregon does, but they're top 3 for sure. And I mean, Penn State's going to be a good game for USC, and they have a talented roster. But I don't think, for as high as Michigan was rated to start the year, I don't think they have the pieces to make it last. And so I would say top 3, if not pushing 2.
I'm with you. Where is you live in the West? I think you live in LA, right, Matt?
Yeah, down in Orange County. Yep.
Okay. What is the excitement level right now? Like, was joining the Big Ten really that big of a deal to like the core fan base there? And like, what is like, hey, in 2 weeks when Wisconsin shows up, if they do beat Michigan, do we expect a sold out Coliseum, celebrities on the sideline? Like, where is it right now with fan support, juice, all that in LA?
They just announced that Wisconsin is sold out, and Nebraska.
Okay.
The next two games are sold out.
Let's go to Nebraska
for a 92,000 seat Coliseum. And so, yes, the buzz is back. And LA is always fickle with fans. Like, you've got to be a hot ticket.
You got to
win. Whether
win.
it's like Ohtani and the Dodgers. You had the Lakers back in the day. Like, everyone would just go to Lakers games. Or if the Clippers were hot for whatever reason, or you go to the beach. Like, there's other stuff to do. So you have to be exciting. And I went back for the home opener last week, or I guess 2 weeks ago, for Utah State, and it was a shutout, 48-0. It was not really a
first shutout since 2012.
Yeah, which, dude, I was watching the game, and someone, I was like, I hope it was like 24-0 or something, and I'm like, man, that'd be sweet to get a shutout. Someone asked me when the last shutout was. I'm like, I don't remember, and it was when we beat UCLA 50-0. My junior year. Which I had no clue. I'm like, it's been that long, jeez. But there's a buzz around campus, around just the alumni group, and fans are kind of all in again. And Lincoln's earned that right and that trust from everybody, and it's exciting to watch like those big plays happen on the field rather than just like grinding out wins. Like, I don't know if it's as flashy as like the Reggie days when every player, like, what's going to happen? Like when you're watching Tiger Woods or something, you're like, something crazy is about to happen. There's been glimpses of that with the talent they have, like with Zachariah Branch on a punt return or something. But there's definitely this like excitement.
What's holding him back at receiver, by the way? You brought up Branch. Like what is holding him back from being explosive on offense?
I don't know. I wish I knew him better to kind of get in his head about whether it's route running capabilities or just like finding open zones. He seems to do a lot with the, either just like a deep threat or like the bubble screen and make some guy miss. But I mean, they've got, from Kyron Hudson and the other guys, like dude's making plays.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if that's Miller just like trusting where the ball should go based on coverage, and based on progression rather than finding a playmaker like some quarterbacks do. That may be a part of it. Not too sure, but
you look at, I'll say this, you look at Miller Moss in the bowl game last year, it felt like 11 or like 13 guys had catches. Nobody had too many. You look at the LSU box score, it's 5 for Hudson, 5 for McCree, 4 for Branch, 3 for Lane, 2 for Deuce, 2 for Ford, and then 3 for Mark. So he is seeing the field, and he is going to go where the defense dictates that he should, which honestly is going to be his best, his greatest strength. So bringing it back to the matchup this weekend, Matt, I see a lot of ways that USC wins because Michigan's not as strong on the offensive line. USC's offense is more dynamic and way more consistent. They have a huge advantage at quarterback. So I see a lot of ways they win. What, in your opinion, is the way that Michigan could pull this off? Like, what's the path that it looks like for the Wolverines to win?
Well, they stated that they're going to kind of want to force USC to pass for whatever reason. Like, they're going to try. It's always stop the run, force them to pass.
Yeah, sure.
But if that's the goal, then good luck. I guess it's going to be maybe a long night. But I think they want to. I think what they're saying is they want to control the line of scrimmage, and so that's always vindictive of who's going to win. Usually, whether if you can get pressures or on the offensive side of the ball, keep moving that line of scrimmage. But I don't know if they're going to be able to do that on the defensive side of the ball for Michigan. And again, with the size and the experience and the offensive line that USC has, I've been really impressed with their run blocking and pass pro. And so I would give SC an edge in that department. And if Michigan thinks that's how they're going to win the game, then maybe play quarters with 20-yard deep safeties just to try to stop the run, or stop the pass.
Do you like attacking quarters as much as every other quarterback I talk to? Every quarterback I talk to just feels like they fucking gobble up quarters, which always makes me wonder, like, well, then why are people out here running quarters?
Well, college quarters, Yes, it's a little different. So like when I was in Buffalo with the Bills, Sean McDermott ran quarters a lot, but I played with Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde, who for the time when I was at Buffalo were I think one of the best safety combinations in the league. And they were so in tune with disguising different looks, whether it was a post high look or quarters. And teams can play it different where those safeties would drive the run and the corners would kind of overlap over the top, or more of that palms look where corners would drive to the flats or anything underneath and safeties would stay high. And so there's different ways of attacking that, but college quarters, those guys aren't smart enough or like in tune enough to really mess with you like that. And so like if you just high low those safeties with like in cuts and a post over the top, or
touchdown,
just take hitches all day, or just work the backer one-on-one, like there's mismatches all over the field.
Well, I also think that like for college too, one, the hash is into the sidelines far away. So like they're like, we're not going to see that many quarterbacks that can throw to the field with accuracy, consistency. So like we're fine manning that corner up one-on-one. We'd rather, especially when Matt and I play a lot of 21 personnel or 12 personnel, a lot of running the football, you needed to get a safety in the box. So like, I mean, the amount of time we called like R144 Demon, which was just a post that broke it off across the safety's face first two or quarters or single. And then you got the big post with the guy that can run the outside. I threw maybe
speed,
20 touchdowns.
Yeah, it's a gimme.
Easy.
Did y'all see Mel Kiper on Get Up this morning? ESPN did an entire segment on how Mel Kiper
cover two.
That cover two should be illegal. Cover two is ruining the NFL, which, boys, I'll be interested to see your opinion on this. And this is not a college question, but in the NFL, it's a couple minutes more, Matt, I apologize. But in the NFL right now, the meta is shifting and running the ball is winning again. Like you're averaging less than 200 yards passing a game right now. And I think it's like the first time since maybe like the 90s or something like that. Like it's pretty wild just how far things seem to be rubber banding back to a more run first, heavy style of play. What do y'all think is what's kind of behind this?
Yeah, I just read this morning. Dan Orlovsky shared through 2 weeks in the NFL, there's only been 69 pass touchdowns, which is the lowest since 2006.
Ooh, wow.
There's been 41% designed run plays, which is the highest since 2008. And there's only been 545 blitzes, which is the fewest on record through 2 weeks. And so I think teams are realizing the speed and what's going on offense, and they'd rather more sit back and stop the bleeding, prevent the big plays, and almost catch rather than just be beat over the top.
Wait for the offense to make them
work. Make them work. It's
at some point during a 12-play drive, the offense is going to screw up. We have to take advantage of it.
Which is actually kind of what Michigan's MO was last week of just kind of sitting back and letting, like, you got to make a 14, 15-play drive. And in college, it's a lot harder to be consistent with that if you have to do that multiple times per game, right? True. In the NFL, you're used to that. Like, take what's there. If it's a check down, quarterbacks are much more comfortable with taking a check down and just keeping the ball moving. But, it's hard to do that as an offense. College quarterbacks, I feel like, are much more impatient and want to make a play or make a splash, and they don't want to trust that. But in the NFL, guys they have to do that because that's kind of the nature of where defenses are going.
So, boys, now I know they haven't played anybody, so there's no point. I don't want to make too much of it, but right now, the numbers that Jackson Dart is putting up under Lane Kiffin are mind-blowing. Like, you would struggle to get better numbers against air. 83% completion, 13 yards per attempt, 390 per game, 8 tuds, 1 pick. Matt, you played for Kiffin. Now, obviously, Kiffin's kind of had so many different eras in his own career that, like, I don't know if you even could comment on how he's maybe grown from then to now. But what is it that you find as a quarterback? What does Lane Kiffin do to kind of make you feel comfortable and help you find some of the success?
He's a mastermind. I think the best, if not one of the best play callers I've ever been around. And his ability to set up shots, to whether it's in the run game or play action or just picking on a player on defense and exposing him with guys who have speed or are big playmakers. He found so much joy in just explosive
what an
plays.
asshole. He's a bully. He
found so much just excitement in points, in yards. Like, it didn't matter what the score is. Like that 50-0 game I mentioned versus UCLA, that could have easily been 49-0. But he wanted to go for 2 to make it 50-0. Like, there's no need. That was the last 2-point conversion of the game, I think.
No, dude.
And it was
Oh
like just
God.
little things like that where he just wants to make a statement. And you see him on the sideline holding his hands up when the ball's in the air.
I was going to say, he knows it. Like, there's
yeah.
a million clips of him out there where he knows the shot's dialed up, and before it comes, it's happening. So as a quarterback, that's got to be a pretty heady feeling, right? Pretty empowering when you know you have a coach that's going to put you in a great position to make massive plays.
It's very comforting, and especially when you have guys on the outside that you can trust in and make plays. Like when I had, Marquise Lee and Robert Woods on the outside, Nelson Aguilar at one point, and Kiff, would just be back there scheming to get them open, and there was always someone that could make a big play. And with his play calling, again, the ability to set plays up, to set up those, get those safeties in quarters to dive up or whatever it was and hit something over the top. He would always find a way to exploit someone or some scheme. Yeah.
Too good.
It's crazy, man. Matt, thank you so much, brother. Kept you here 30 minutes. It's awesome to finally meet you. It's cool, man. I love hearing you break down ball. Shout out to USC, dude. Fight on,
baby.
Trojans are back.
I think college football is a little bit better that the Trojans are
100%
kind of in the mix now.
I would agree. I love all the big brands being back. Yeah. Bring Nebraska back. We got Michigan back already. Yes, USC next in line. You the man, Matt. Thank you so much. You have a great day.
Love it. Thanks,
Appreciate
guys.
it, Matt.
Later, brother. Thank you. Matt Barkley, SC legend. The Dundies, you guys don't believe that this Tennessee offense is better than 2019 LSU. Did you see what they did? 133rd ranked at Kent State. Okay. So yeah, I get it being a little sarcastic with Tennessee offense. We're going to find out, because I believe Oklahoma's defense is way better than NC State's.
Yes.
And NC State's is pretty good, but I think Oklahoma's is significantly better. So this will be the best measure that we've had of the Tennessee offense as of yet. Again, I think kind of maybe this is an easy way out. Maybe like close early, then Tennessee pulls away. I just don't know, Dundee. I just don't know how the Sooners keep pace. They need a pick six. They need a pick six or something.
Yeah, I think Tennessee's going to get too many short fields where eventually it's just going to burst. Like, you may get a couple where you get Tennessee to go 3 and out, maybe make a mistake, but it's just going to be over and over again. If Oklahoma, which I don't think is going to be able to move the ball consistently, you give Tennessee the football around, say, the minus 40 to 50-yard line, they're going to eventually hit a big play, score a touchdown, and then all of a sudden the gates open, and then it's just like we're off to the races. You have to make sure, if I'm Oklahoma, if you can just consistently get maybe 2 first downs per possession and you're forcing Tennessee to go 80-plus yards, I'd feel good about it. I just think we're going to see a lot of 3 and outs from Oklahoma's offense, and Tennessee with short fields, and then you look up 1 second, it's like 7-0, then you look up 10 minutes later, and it's 24-0.
Go Dog says, I personally want West Virginia to get their chance again. I would love it, man. I would love it. But unfortunately, West Virginia is kind of like how I feel about LSU in the NIL era, but without any of the inherent advantages of LSU, where, like, if you come from a place with a bad state economy, I think eventually it's going to catch up to you. Until things are codified and you get to more of a salary cap situation where okay, this is the max that we can spend, and you can't get into bidding wars, like, you just don't have the money to keep up. What Neil Brown did last year was very impressive, but it looks like it's all falling apart this year. I think LSU will still have their moments of huge relevancy, but the more and more that the market continues unchecked, I wonder about their ability to keep up. I was pretty shocked to learn this. LSU's top player in NIL, Aaron, makes $500K.
What?
The top, $500K.
Who's that, offensive line?
Yeah. But think about that.
That's
think
wild.
About that. That's wild. I mean, how many players do you think on Georgia right now make $1 million?
No, not many. No, not a many.
How many make $500K? A handful.
Not as many as you think either. I would say somewhere probably around 5 to 10.
Yeah, I'm not saying 10. Okay, so 5 to 10. That's what I'm saying. Like
around 5, maybe 5. 5, maybe 5.
I mean, the going rate. Codified. Is it codified? I always say codified. CK. No, but like, yeah, the going rate for a great quarterback, like Matt Rule told us, like $1 million to $2 million. Now LSU's still low for. I mean, you look at
even Syracuse is paying their quarterback $800,000.
Yeah. So again, I kind of chicken littled when all this NIL stuff was announced. I'm like, look, I'm super happy. This is awesome for the players, but like, I do wonder, is this where Louisiana having a bad state economy finally comes to kind of bite you in the ass and the brain drain and people leaving and business leaving? And I don't know. We'll see over time. You still have advantages like a West Virginia. What are they supposed to do? Because they don't have geography. Like they don't have like the rich talent pool where, okay, even if LSU can't pay players, there's still a lot of players who are going to be better than the majority of teams. But like, I don't know what a West Virginia does in this new. Hope
that legislation gets passed by January where there's a salary cap and you're not having to worry about these bidding wars because everyone's going to get $16 million to spend on their football team. And, then you hope from there that the stuff outside of that.
Wait, so are you talking about the revenue sharing? Are you talking about the
Yes.
settlement? So even if that gets approved though, that'll be $20 million, whatever it is, earmarked for players by the school. So that is kind of like a cap of sorts, except that you still can't stop NIL. And I know that NIL
you can't stop it, but it will step back. 2, there will also be more stringent rules on how these players get paid. I think like anything over $600 has to like go through.
Good luck enforcing the rules, though, dude.
I know. I get it. They're at least going to try. Right now, it's wide open, so at least there'll be an effort made to tame some of the out of the 20, post $20 million. What's coming into the programs?
Ashley Megan says Louisiana isn't poor. Louisiana is poorly run. We're resource rich as fuck. Yes, but we are monetarily poor. We should be Saudi Arabia and we let all of our resources get taken and let other people benefit off of it. No, I think yes, NIL will take a step back once the settlement is approved. But at the end of the day, if you want the player, people are going to pay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the bidding wars are still going to happen. So I don't know how much of a step back, honestly, in my opinion. Shepard Doug says nobody stopping Uncle Phil getting our 5 stars. SMH, fuck the salary cap. Yeah, exactly. It's just a classic battle of the haves and the have-nots. If you are a have, you want it to continue. And else you
but I'll say this though, like
just at the lower end.
If let's give Garrett Nussmeier's example here. I'm Garrett Nussmeier and I ball out this year and I did have another, I don't know if he has another year left or not for this, but like say he has another year left and Ohio State came to him and said, listen, Garrett, you're getting $500,000 or $400,000 at LSU. They can only pay you up to, $600,000. We'll pay you $2 over here. Come to Ohio State. But if there's a salary cap and Garrett, LSU says, hey, our starting quarterback at LSU is going to get $2 million a year. Is it that much incentive to then go to a different school if they can pay you 2.5 at that point? So like, I think that's maybe it'll be a little bit easier to keep hold of your superstars because they'll be making 7 figures and they don't want the hassle of going somewhere else just for what they would deem maybe a little bit less.
Fair. That's fair. It's a good call. Angry Trojans is fight on from Columbus, Ohio. Holy shit, Trojan. Things really broke your way, huh?
Hey,
living in Big Ten country. Now you have a team in the Big Ten that looks like they might challenge for the Big Ten. It's a good day to be the Angry Trojan.
Hey, I'll also say this. You talk about these boosters giving money. How many Tennessee boosters, after upping ticket prices, are then going to pay for the salary? So I'm already paying for the $20 million salary. Like that money now has been earmarked. The money I'm paying for season tickets is earmarked towards their salary. So now you're going to come back to me and say, oh, thank you for paying for their salaries, but we need more once again. I'm just saying, like, I think the stuff outside is going to dry up.
Wait, but hold on. But to be clear, the Tennessee talent fee does not affect the big boosters. I mean, it does, but it doesn't. They're not the ones. It's the common people whose pockets are being reached.
It's still
into
a lot
there.
of money. Still a lot
so
of money.
what? But a 10% fee on a ticket to a big time multi-million-dollar booster is borderline.
I know
irrelevant.
plenty of big boosters in Georgia that fucking hate NIL and think it's some of the biggest boosters that give 6 to 7 figures a year will not touch NIL.
Shit. Yes. I've heard reports of a no-name deep snapper wanting $5,000 for an Instagram post when he doesn't even have any fucking followers. I'm like, what are we talking about, guys? Y'all are out of control.
Out of control.
We need to do a lawsuit, Aaron. Can we spearhead a lawsuit, me and you, to get some money?
Well, the Ohio State former players are.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Let's get one going for us.
The problem is I'd have to sue my employer, which is ESPN.
Shit. Yeah, that's not good business.
No,
it's not good business.
But if the settlement goes through and they make a lot of money, maybe it'll be worth it.
Yeah, true. True. All right. Some other things I want to talk about. So the big story of the weekend's Arch Manning starting for Texas, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you realize, though, Aaron, that this is quarterback royalty on both sides of the ball, not just Arch, but also ULM quarterback General Booty. Now, you'll forgive me. This is a national article from Bruce Feldman in The Athletic that kind of spurred this thinking. But this is a kind of inherently Louisiana story, as both the Mannings and Booties are two of the most famous Louisiana football families. Only the Mannings from South Louisiana, the Booties from North. But how about this? So, okay, we know Arch's family tree, right? Arch is Cooper's son. His uncles are Eli and Peyton. His grandfather's Archie. Well, how about this? General Booty, his uncle, okay, first off, his father is his father is Abram Booty, who was also a receiver, not a quarterback, just like Arch. He's a great receiver at LSU, played for the Vikings for a little bit. That's his father. His uncle is Josh Booty, who in 1993 was USA Today Offensive Player of the Year in high school, Parade National Player of the Year. Well, who was the 93 Gatorade Player of the Year? Peyton Manning. So here you go. Josh, the uncles, Josh and Peyton directly competing with each other. His other uncle is John David Booty, who played at USC, quarterback, won multiple Rose Bowls under Steve Sarkisian. And Peyton's brother is obviously Eli. Grandfather Archie Manning, grandfather Johnny. It's crazy. All these guys have played. There's so much great football in these families, and now they're going to battle one another. In Austin. But I mean, look, obviously it's not gonna be much of a game. I will say this though. I love that. I love the ULM head coach Brian Vincent. Talked to him last week, had me ready to run through a fucking wall. But I thought that was pretty cool that there were so many parallels between the two families. It's just that it's like I talk about me and my old man being like the great value version of the Golix. The Booties are the great value version of the Mannings.
The Booties. I love the Booties.
I know. I see you smiling over there.
What do you think the noise will be when Arch throws for 6 touchdowns?
What's that?
What do you think the noise will be when Arch accumulates 6 touchdowns in the game?
I mean, honestly, the noise is irrelevant to me. It doesn't matter because and it's irrelevant to everybody. I have not to brag, I have contacts on the Texas team. And it is so clearly Quinn's team. Like it is just all outside bullshit noise. And look, we play into it too. We're all searching for clicks. We all want you motherfuckers to hop on these streams and hit the like button. And sad to say that that's how you do it. But, you know, if you've listened to our show, you know that we have clearly laid out like there is no quarterback competition.
No path.
The bigger takeaway if he throws 6 touchdowns is if I'm a Texas fan, at this point, I am just injecting college football happiness straight into my veins because I'm going to be good for years. It's not just this year. It's next year. It's the year after. We're probably going to get another great quarterback because Steve Sarkisian's so obviously proven what a mind is, what he can do for you, and Texas can pay. Like Texas looks like they're going to be back forever.
I'm going to say, is Texas like back-to-back
quarterbacks?
We talk about Georgia being beautifully set up for this new era of college football because of can recruit the state of Georgia, good financing, good facilities. You have Kirby Smart as head coach. But is Texas in your mind moving to that number one spot now? Is Texas, if you had to bet on a team for the next decade, a lot of people said Nick Saban's gone. So obviously this is Kirby Smart's era. Next 10 years, all about Georgia. Is it now about Texas?
No, that's still a step too far to me because
Too far? Okay.
I still view Georgia's advantages as being pretty singular in terms of such a populous state, such a rich state, still really the flagship, even with Brent Key making Tech a little frisky.
Mm-hmm.
But still Georgia's the biggest player in town. And Kirby still the guy that feels like the best coach in the entire country in terms of running a program. Sark is getting better at that, certainly. And Sark's probably the best offensive mind in the country. Him or Lane. Definitely up there. But
is Sark the second best coach in America?
He'd have to win something for us to give him that first, right?
But who else would get it? Who else has won? Besides Mac Brown.
Well, I mean, Dabo has won, but no, it's not Dabo.
Okay,
I know,
Dabo,
but you said besides Mac Brown, so you have to all say besides.
That's how far Dabo has fallen for us. That even though he's won multiple times, he's not in this conversation for me.
No, not at all. No, I mean your point is a good one. Your point is a good one. If I would still put DeBoer at 2 right now.
Okay, yeah, he's beat him back times. Yep,
for me. But Sark could change that this year.
Yeah,
if he did well. All right. So
what if Mario wins a national championship this year? What if Texas faces Miami in a national championship? TBob's is
what the fuck are you talking about, baby? I'm all about the U.
Okay.
I've been pumping the U this entire what the fuck do you mean?
I know you have.
Who was telling you that
the two coaches you've doubted the most over the past 2 seasons are 2 of the best teams in America. Dude. And you can never talk shit about either of them ever again if that happens.
Do you know what the word sycophant means?
No.
It's a yes man. When you surround yourself with sycophants, you can't get shut done because nobody gives you honest opinions. You ask them a question. Oh, yes, sir. Whatever you say. Oh, yeah, that's a great idea, even if it's a bad idea. Okay. Sorry, you're just a little dick sucking sycophant, and I demand more out of these guys. I sit here and you know what? I will take these bullets. I will be pilloried. I will be the martyr if I have to be so that these coaches can reach their full potential. Okay, I'm sorry that I demand
I'm not
a high
saying
standard.
I was a Mario fan before this year, so don't say I'm over here sucking Mario off. I did say last year that Texas and Sark were going to be good, so I will take that one. But I have never said that Mario is like this incredible coach. I'm with you on that one. Still got to prove it over the length of a football season.
He's going to. I'm full crystal ball right now. He is this year's Sark.
I agree. That team is damn good.
But it's okay. It's okay. Again, guys.
Watch fucking USF
throw
win.
your slings, throw your arrows. I can take it. Put that cross on my back. I can take it. Okay, right here. I'm a strong man. I got broad shoulders. When it rains, it pours, Aaron.
It does.
Especially in the swamp.
Especially in Florida.
Things have somehow gotten worse for Florida. Like you're listening. You're saying, how is that possible? Yes, it is. Florida's going to be without Trey Wilson against Mississippi State this Saturday. Probably their best player, definitely their best receiver, best weapon. And it's at a position where they already have 2 or 3 other injuries to where basically not only are they down Trey Wilson, but they're replacing him with freshmen and walk-ons. And now you're going to Starkville against a Mississippi State team that admittedly got their ass whooped last week by Toledo, but they're in kind of a laissez-faire week-to-week deal where they don't really give that much. Like every week is a new week for Jeff.
Well, they're going to be able to throw the ball because Florida's defense is so bad. So
that's what I'm getting at, though. That's what I'm getting at. It's like Mississippi State doesn't really give a fuck about losing to Toledo because they're just like, fuck it, Jeff Levy's offense. Let's just go throw shit against the wall, just attack. And so this is a dangerous spot for Florida. We could be witnessing the true, even though we know it's already over. So it's just
is this a you're not coming on the plane home moment for Billy?
I don't think they do him like that. I don't think
we're
gonna
wait till he fucking lands in Gainesville.
I don't think there's like, I don't think, or if I like, I don't think there's like with Lane and USC, there was a weird amount of actual like animosity between the two parties at the end. I don't see that at Florida. I think it's more like disappointment. You always had that coach that was like, he wouldn't get mad at you. He'd get disappointed, and that hurt all the worse.
Your mom,
your parents aren't mad at you. They're just disappointed you. That's how Florida is with Napier. They're not even mad at him. They're just disappointed. Like, we thought you were the guy, dude. We thought you were the guy.
Oh.
So, like, yeah, this weekend, no Trey Wilson. Billy Napier may be $27 million richer.
When is their bye week? When is Florida's bye week? After this week. After this week is Florida's bye week.
Yeah. Timing's bad.
Timing is bad. You lose Mississippi State heading into a bye week where the new coach gets 2 weeks to kind of get the house in order before UCF. Oh.
Emil says Mississippi State should give a fuck about losing to Toledo, considering the school fired the other coaches much less. I mean, but the thing about Mississippi State is it's a bit of a free pass year because it's Levy year number 1. And it's Levy year 1. Oh, and Zach Arnett like fucked shit up so badly.
Screwed it up. Yeah.
Just fucked it up so badly that like I don't think that if I was a State fan, I would approach this year free of expectation and just floating around hoping for the best, which is one of the reasons why this game Saturday seems so fascinating.
Amazing. That's on ESPN.
Adam says complete apathy is the worst spot to be in. Again, Mississippi State's not apathetic though. They're just free of expectation. They still are excited for Jeff Levy offense. They're still throwing the ball around. Yeah, like State is cool. State is swag. You're right. Apathy is the worst place to be. But that's not where State is right now. We have some news on the Pac-12's next moves, Aaron.
Okay.
Memphis and Tulane are emerging as kind of the next two targets. Look, I think these are exciting targets. It's still not going to make you a Power 5 conference, but I think it's good nonetheless. UTSA, North Texas, South Florida, Texas State also being considered, with the UTSA being the favorite. Maybe UNLV, though their long-term viability is kind of being questioned here. But here's the deal. You keep saying, where's the money? What's the money? Why are teams doing this? I don't know how they're going to pull this off. Exactly.
I don't either.
But the Pac-12 has convinced these schools that they will get $10 to $15 million per school per year. Right now, the Mountain West makes 6 per school, and the AAC makes 7 per school. Now, one potential partner that's emerging is TNT. Remember, TNT already sub-licensing college football playoff games. TNT looks like they're going to lose the NBA. Live sports is the only thing that has viability in today's TV landscape. Live college football, much better than the NBA if you can get it consistently. And so TNT may be going to be in that bidding war.
They just better freaking get Charles Barkley doing the halftime if they want people to watch the damn thing.
I mean, again, I know that sounds dumb. I would just take the NBA on TNT team and just put them on the playoff game.
Yes.
Ernie, Shaq, the whole deal. I don't give a fuck. Just put him on. Even though Shaq, you a little freaky with that tiny little girl, bro. And that's the LSU led you, my dog. I feel you. But like,
isn't every girl like tiny to Shaq though?
Have you seen the latest though?
No.
What?
No. Sorry, I don't follow Shaq's sex life. You know,
he tried to deny it, and then she came out with her receipts that it's definitely her, definitely him in the picture.
First of all, let me get my opinion on this. It's not. If this was just a football thing, just like with the ACC adding Cal and Stanford, I get it, but I just don't know it has an entire program. You can make this move and say that it's going to work. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
Because they're going to make more money. What do you mean they're going to make more money per year? By like 2-3x. You're a crypto guy. If I tell you today I can 2-3x you, you're not coming with? Hop in. We're going to bat country. Well, maybe not. I don't know if they're going to end up with UNLV or not. Yeah, here is Shaq's girlfriend. Or I don't know about girlfriend, but
is she is she that small though?
So I'm going to say yes, she would be petite no matter what. I'm also going to say that's just a little freaky. And I ain't hating. It's all good, man. It's all good. You do you. But like,
was he supposed to date? Like only date girls that are over 6 foot?
I don't know. I guess he's in a kind of tough spot. I guess you're right. I mean, he's in a
It's
tough
like a tall
spot,
girl. She's in a tough spot. I mean,
I know, but that just kind of looks like a child a little bit. Like it's just a little crazy.
he doesn't look like a
And
child to me.
you can tell he's a little freaked out by because he tried to deny it, and then she hit it. She came out with all sorts of receipts. So
I don't know if he's freaked out, but he just probably doesn't want his other girls to know.
That's true. That's true.
It's more like.
But then again, why do you take that picture and let her share it on Instagram? Maybe not let her. I don't know.
I didn't let her.
I don't know. But still, Shaq's the man. Fuck it.
Shaq is the man.
I like Five Guys.
Now this is Cornhub.
To close this out, the Pac-12 is going to owe the Mountain West $111 million. AAC defectors add tens of millions to that. So I do wonder how they're going to pay for all that. We'll see. Let's look at the S&P. What's up?
I said TNT, man, they're getting one hell of a conference if that was going to happen. It's going to be a bidding war between them and CBS. It'll be a bidding war between them and CBS.
So here is the S&P Plus rankings post. How's this look on the screen? Okay. S&P Plus rankings post week 3 of college football. As you can see, Georgia tumbling all the way from number 1 to number 5. And what it's created now is pretty interesting. An analytical mishmash at the top of the conference here, Aaron. Look at that. You got Ohio State number 1 through 5 separated by only 1.8 rating points. Don't know the last time that I've seen this.
How is Texas's defense so down there? Like, how is Texas defense 9?
What you're saying they should be higher?
Fuck yeah, they should be higher. They've given up 19 points in 3 games.
It's still competition. I don't know. It's tough.
Competition? Who the hell has Ohio State played?
Yeah, how many points has Ohio State given up?
I think 0, but
yeah.
So they've only played 2 games. They've only played 2 games though.
No, I get it, but I mean, you're asking the question. I mean, that's the.
I'm just saying.
And to be clear, this is, look, we're still early on, right? All numbers have to be taken with a grain of salt right now. But I do think it's interesting that Georgia took a massive tumble here. And how about this? Also, Tennessee kind of operating their own ground here at 6, nipping at the heels of Georgia, but like 4 points above Mizzou. So Tennessee's starting to break into that elite category where Mizzou, Oregon, Miami are kind of the next best up. But here's what I found that was pretty crazy.
Yeah, how's Michigan's defense 4 and Texas's 9? Texas should be the number 1 team on that list. That makes no sense to me. How Michigan, who gave up 31 points to Texas, is ahead of them when it comes to defense on that poll.
Because it is opponent adjusted, and it's measured against how your defense would do against the average, and how your offense and special teams would do against the average Power 5 team.
They gave up 18 points to Arkansas State, 10 points to Fresno State, and 31 to Texas.
How many?
Fucking stupid robots. That makes no sense. Texas' defense playing significantly better than Michigan's.
Okay. Look, I'm not here to argue for S&P Plus. Okay, I think it's a fun. I think
the excuses for it.
No, I mean, I don't know. I'm not excuses. You're asking me how do we arrive here? I'm trying to come up with explanations. Also, preseason projections still weigh in pretty heavily right now, because they slowly get phased out as we get more data, which is actually why, shout out Kirk Cignetti, guys. There goes that man. Indiana started ranked 81st in the S&P Plus. They're now up to 40th.
Woo.
And that's, again, especially crazy because the preseason projections are still weighing them down. So all you need to know is that Cignetti is blowing expectations out of the water. And the other thing that I found that was interesting from Connolly's piece this week, UGA, have you ever heard of post-game win expectancy? So this is where you look at the predictive stats from a game and say, okay, if this game played out with these trends and with these moments happening, how often would this team win the game, right? And so it's kind of like a luck type deal. It tries to quantify luck, which is tough. UGA against Kentucky only had a post-game win expectancy of 43.8.
Damn.
So basically saying that if you play that game 10 times, they win at 4, they lose at 6, which I thought UGA would have been closer to. I thought that would have been flipped because it felt like they were in control the whole time.
What, did you watch the game? Do you not what the first half? Kentucky was in control. First 3 quarters, Kentucky was in control.
You know what? You're not wrong. I guess it was more that like
if you as knowing who Georgia is, you personally never thought it could, but like there was
that's
for
fair.
The average Georgia fan and myself watching it, it did not feel like Georgia was in control. Was there a sense of me that saying like Georgia's going to figure out a way to win the list? Like yeah, but like I would say for fans that aren't Georgia fans, like that game very much felt like Kentucky should have won.
Yeah. No, you're right. It didn't feel like that.
What was the LSU USC in that one? I would love to know that because to me, that's very similar feel to like USC feels like they should have won that football game. And I think maybe a little bit more USC than say Kentucky. But I would say like USC probably is closer like 70%, LSU 30%, if not lower.
Let me see. Can I find? Okay, it looks like I may have found a database here. Talk for a second, Aaron. Okay, that's not talking.
No, I was trying to think. I couldn't.
That's not. I mean, say fucking anything, nerd.
All right, here we go. Let's get to the next section.
No. Hold on.
Oh, see, I go to say something, you interrupt me. What am I supposed to do?
Well, I don't want you to go to the. Okay. I found the game. Let's see. USC had a post-game win expectancy of 58%.
What? Or USC? Okay, yeah.
Yes, USC. Yeah,
I think it'd be higher than that. I thought it'd be closer to 70.
Really?
Yeah.
With LSU taking the late lead?
But it takes into account the entire game and what happened.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, for sure.
Like Georgia took a late lead too. I mean, they won.
So yeah, USC should have won that game, and they did. Georgia arguably should not have, and they did. Finally, whatever this does matter. The SEC remains ahead of the Big 10, Big 12, SEC, all of them. It's still SEC, Big 10, Big 12, ACC. Aaron, you know what's funny? We've made so much of the Texas and Michigan brands going toe-to-toe. I don't feel like we've made as much about the USC Michigan brands, which is pretty insane because these are like two of the best college football brands of all time.
I think we would have if Michigan. I agree. I think we would have if Michigan is not performing as bad as they've performed this year. I think there would be a lot more excitement. And obviously, too, heading into the season, we weren't expecting USC to be as good as they are right now either.
That's true. Yeah, maybe if they were closer, it'd be better.
I mean, Texas and Michigan was like 2 playoff teams, national championship team, big brands. This is going to be freaking awesome. Whereas like USC limping into the season, we thought they're middle of the pack Big 10. And then now Michigan has looked bad to start the season. So like it's just kind of not been built the same way as Texas and Michigan early on.
Emil saying the SEC still being ahead after what Notre Dame did to A&M. It's interesting. You got to understand the SEC's strength in analytics comes from its top to bottom strength, not necessarily from it. Because that's a middle of the pack SEC team losing to Notre Dame, who's supposed to be one of the best in the country. Like that's not actually that surprising. USC has not been in the big house since 1958. The Trojans also lead the all-time series 6-4. However, 8 of the 10 matchups are all Rose Bowls, save for a late 50s home and home. So pretty legendary game taking place. Something that we haven't seen in half a century. USC traveling to the big house. Very excited to see how it plays out. Again, I think SC wins. Speaking of California football, have you caught up on any of the Cal memes yet?
No.
Tallahassee? That's what the Bears are calling Tallahassee. It's now Tallahassee. And they've changed the name of Doak Walker to Woke Walker Stadium. Cal currently leading. I think they're near the nation lead for picks. And so their fans are now saying that they're forcibly redistributing resources. They're taking it from the offense and spreading it out back to the defense. They are all in on shoving their liberal agenda down your throat through football.
How about Cal could be 4-0 going against Miami at Cal? You think fans will show up?
ACC battle.
Do you think fans will show up for an undefeated 4-0, 4-0?
Fuck yes. Are you kidding
Will Cal
me?
be ranked? Will Cal be ranked?
Cal is back, dude. Cal memes are so back it's insane. Let me find you. I'll find you my favorite ones real quick. No, I really do believe that Cal will that Cal fans will show up for that game. 100%. Sorry, I gotta scroll through some of these horny likes. Also, I know this is a bit chalky, but I'm really in love with that little hippo moo ding too. I know everybody is at this time, so there's no like
what
point in talking about. You ain't seen the hippo moo ding? You got to be more online.
Spend on social media.
I mean, what do you mean? Our entire life. How do you think we prep for the shows constantly? I don't have any other jobs except for this one. I don't have to study rosters and whatnot. Let's see. This one's pretty good here. It says, comrades, we have seized the means of offensive production as our dear revolutionary leader Oski has commanded. Commence with the invasion of Tallahassee as planned. That one's not bad. Let me see here. Where's my favorite
No,
one?
Brad Bush.
Oh!
If Florida State starts 0-4, Norvell is not gone. But they look like they're going to start 0-4.
Oh, look at this bullshit. This is that guy that promised to eat the dog shit and won it. And now he comes out of crawling and says, okay, because my own fan base won't leave me alone about eating dog shit, I will officially be rooting for Cal in this weekend's match.
Oh, did he come out?
Two thumbs down. Yeah, it's this guy. It's 3-2-1 null.
Oh, wow.
But I'm saying 2 thumbs down for this move, bro. So first, look, I was on your side, but you got to disappear. I told you got to go underground.
Yeah. Or you got to eat shit now. One of the two.
Or you got to eat shit. You can't show up and be like, I'm officially cheering for the opponent. That's so fucking weak. Like, you don't get to do that, dude. You got to eat shit. Get out of here. Let's see. What else? Which one's my favorite one? Okay. That's pretty fucking good too. This is some guy tweets, what do you do in the Bay Area besides talk about vegan restaurants? You're going to try and worry about being gang raped by homeless people? The weather sucks. The culture really sucks. The food is so liberalized, it's inedible. You're surrounded by tards, to which Cal responds, me pulling up to your precious state fair with my liberalized food, DEI on a stick and fried pronouns. You're going to eat this, bitch. You're going to eat this and you're going to like this. I got some they, them on a stick for you. Okay? Suck it, nerd. Okay, let's see. Maybe one or two more.
Who said it earlier in the chat? Someone said, I would die to see TBob's likes. I do want to scroll through your likes out. I'm going to be at the LSU game, I think, next weekend. So definitely going to get TBob's phone and see what things he likes.
FSU has announced a stripe out this Saturday versus Cal. Check your row number. The 60s are going to be Marxist red. The 50s are orange. The 40s are they, them yellow. 30s are going to be capitalism is a crime green. The 20s are Atlantic coast blue. And 0 through 19 will be your open border purple. Also, we'll have rainbow end zones just to reinforce the inclusivity of it all. Okay, one more. I got to find the one that I think started it all for me.
I love that you've liked all of these.
What?
I said I like.
I'm just scrolling through my likes right now. Okay, here's my favorite one. We'll end on this one. It says, my ayahuasca shaman helped guide me to enlightenment and the keys to victory in Tallahassee. After the game, we will have a drum circle with our indigenous Seminole brothers and sisters and mourn the appropriation. So after they beat the fuck out of them in Tallahassee, they are going to mourn the fact, I'm sorry that we have appropriated your culture with our drum circle. God, it's good. It's so good. Who would have guessed that Cal had it in him, dude?
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Not
Add a little
lot.
Juice. Add a little juice. All right, for those who are going to watch the game tomorrow night, be ready. Probably if it's a good game, doing a little live stream afterwards. So come hang out. We'll have some fun.
Oh, wow. Look at this one. Look at this. Oh, look at that. Look at that athlete doing lunges into box jumps.
All right, everyone. Adios. See you tomorrow and Saturday night.
That?
I don't watch this shit anymore.